Elon Musk is officially a trillionaire as a result of the recent SpaceX IPO. Building rockets is a lucrative business, but it is small compared to what comes next. According to the Satellite Industry Association, launch services make up only 3% of today's global space economy. The other 97% is infrastructure, ground stations, satellite data, power systems, and landing pads. The next space trillionaire won't be building rockets. They will be renting out the infrastructure that everything else runs on. A skyscraper in downtown Manhattan has elevators that cost millions to install, but nobody rents an office just to ride the elevator. The elevator is a utility. The value is in the desks, the server racks, and the office space on the floors above. For 50 years, space was so expensive we only focused on the elevator. Now that launch costs are dropping, the elevator is getting cheap. The real estate is about to be built on the floors above. Right now, the space economy is almost entirely a grid of servers in orbit. Satellites are just hardware processing data. Every time you tap a credit card, check a weather radar map, or use GPS in your car, you pay a tiny fee to a server hanging 300 miles above your head. That data processing is a $300 billion business today. The rockets are just the delivery vans that carried the servers up the stairs. Every byte of orbital data has to touch the dirt. A satellite is useless without antennas, fiber lines, and server farms on the ground. That ground segment is already a $165 billion market, more than 13 times the size of the entire launch business. Every Starlink dish on a roof, every GPS chip in your phone, every receiver bolted to a cell tower is part of it. Dish farms stretch from Alaska to Chile, funneling signals into cloud data centers. One day, we will move that hardware into orbit or onto the moon, but for now, the space economy is bolted into concrete pads on Earth. In the near future, the economy moves beyond data into physical supply chains in orbit, and the first bottleneck is power. Right now, the space station runs on solar wings that stretch across an acre. But every 45 minutes, an orbiting station swings into Earth's shadow and the sun cuts out, so you do not just need panels, you need acres of batteries to survive the dark. As orbital warehouses and factories grow, the companies that solve power will own the industrial parks above us. They are the utility companies of orbit. The same shift is happening on the moon. Getting to lunar orbit is straightforward. Landing is the hard part. Think of an off-road haul truck carrying heavy equipment into a raw wilderness. The truck does no good if it gets stuck in the mud or flips on a dirt road. In the near future, as lunar landing contracts ramp up, landers touching down on the bare lunar surface will kick up dust that damages engines. The moon needs landing pads, dust shields, and cranes. This lunar last mile will be about construction gear, not rockets. The next phase is keeping those assets alive. A satellite worth hundreds of millions gets thrown away the moment its small steering thrusters run dry. It is the equivalent of abandoning a cargo truck on the highway because it needs a new fuel pump. That model is ending, and this is not hypothetical. A servicing craft has already flown up, latched onto a dying satellite, and handed it 5 more years of life. Now picture that as a fleet. Keeping a satellite alive for an extra 5 years completely rewrites the balance sheet. The mechanics of orbit are about to make more money than the manufacturers. The future of space looks less like science fiction and more like a logistics catalog. When we eventually push beyond the moon and Mars, mining water ice from the asteroid belt, routing communications from the moons of Jupiter, building the first refueling depots in deep space, the infrastructure bottlenecks only get more extreme. The companies that own those relays and those depots will hold the keys. So stop watching the launch pad. Start watching the infrastructure. That is where the next $1 trillion actually gets built.